Welcome back to the VCS Analyst Desk, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to enter our final game of the regular season for the first time. We have now upgraded to perhaps the largest brain combination that we ever could have possibly had, which is both of our casters, play-by-play and color, taking our analyst desk seats as we needed to fill in for Mr. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 today. As 𝘀𝗃 joins us, 𝘀𝗃, welcome to the analyst desk. The last time, I think we worked together the last time you were an analyst as well, so this is fun.
𝘀𝗀𝗃 has been executed for his crimes. He knows what he did.
He said Syndra was good.
Exactly. That's unacceptable, and I'm happy to.
He even talked up Jhin.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky we didn't do it on stream.
Maybe we're unlucky. That would have been a nice content piece. We'll save that for Clockwork when he gets back from wherever he's from. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the series itself, I had a question. It was going to be with 𝘀𝗀𝗃, but now it, of course, comes to you, 𝘀𝗃. I have a random number generator in front of me, and I have 3 titles to grant for the title of this play. I don't like to talk about MVP. I don't want to talk about rookies right now. Instead, we're going to talk about most improved. That is the player that has improved the most, since we have an actual bearing on that. And I want to talk about a spring trending player, a player that you guys are excited for during the course of the spring, and a spring failing player, somebody that you're not as excited for, or that maybe the hype is completely cooled down on. And every one of us has prepared all 3, but it is going to be completely random, not only who goes, but what they are answering.
I have not prepared all 3, so...
That's fair. Well, let's hope that you get the one that you did prepare, if you did any at all. But, I mean, winging it is also a fair and valid option. That's how 𝘀𝗀𝗃 does the majority of his desks in the first place. Anyhow, cheap shot, by the way. Our first is 𝘀𝗀𝗋. He gets to go, and he gets spring trending. Okay, who is your trending spring player, Mr. 𝘀𝗀𝗋?
Nice. I wanted this one. Okay, my spring trending player is 𝘀𝗀𝗃. I have been very impressed with 𝘀𝗀𝗃. I think I've talked up 𝘀𝗀𝗃 every time I saw him on Flash, and I think he's one of the biggest new solo lane prospects. Flash of all teams found him, and ever since he played, their level has been, like, the first time he came in, already showed us much more lane dominance. His Gwen is amazing. Together with 𝘂𝗏, they have a very solid 1-2 punch now of solo laners. They need to find a new jungler, but that's a different thing. But yeah, I am looking forward to seeing 𝘀𝗀𝗃 in a team that's maybe revitalized in spring. Maybe 1 or 2 more pickups can actually get them into the middle of the spread. And I think he's here to stay.
𝘀𝗃, your spring failing, that is to say, a player that you are not high on, and instead you are going to be looking to fail during the course of the spring.
In terms of someone that I am disappointed with how their spring went, it has to be BaneJ, right? He looks like he was a one-split wonder. After such an incredible performance last spring, he has completely failed. He's been one of the worst players on 𝘁𝗏𝗶𝗹𝗀. And has been a big reason that they now can no longer qualify for playoffs. So, yeah, my hype is completely dead.
All right, and that leaves me with perhaps my most contested, which is the most improved player throughout the split. And I have a couple of people that could definitely step into this one. And it's very narrow margin of difference between the two of them, but I give it to 𝘀𝗍𝒻. Mostly because his step up for the team has been incredible. It's better than 𝘁𝗏𝗃. 𝘁𝗏𝗃, we didn't get the biggest sample size, but 𝘀𝗍𝒻 came in. I had high expectations. He didn't live up to them, and he's certainly become one of my favorite mid laners, if not one of the better mid laners inside of all of the VCS. In fairness, I think 𝘁𝗏𝗃 was under kind of discussion there. I think 𝘁𝗏 was definitely in consideration. He was right there, and 𝘁𝗏𝗃 was the other that I was considering.
I have another one.
𝘀𝗍𝒻. Go ahead.
Ryuk. Not
yeah, yeah, that's fair.
It's unfortunate after today, but I still think he developed from being a liability every single time to actually being a strong place of the team, to actually provide his team with another playstyle and be a solid force in the top lane. But I had 𝘀𝗍𝒻 number 1 as well. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think I've been so impressed with 𝘀𝗍𝒻 and the mid jungle synergy. I think he's definitely my MIP as well.
That's fair. So from that, let's jump into talking about our playoff teams, because now we have a chance. The series that's coming up doesn't have as much value. We'll get to talking about it when we start to get into the drafting phase, but I want to give highlights to the teams that have made it. 𝘀𝗀𝗋 got a little bit of exposure, but now having lost the game, we're going to cool on them for a minute. So let's talk about GAM, who's inside of this series. Clearly not the dominating force that they were in previous splits. Obviously, coming in as the number 2 seed is a bit of a different look for them. Tell me about what happened to GAM this split, because obviously, 2/3 of their losses came in the first week alone.
Sorry, so which one of us is talking about GAM? Sorry?
You'll both talk about GAM, but Carrots, you can start.
Okay, cool. If I can start. I'm so good at analyst desks.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the thing about GAM is they obviously got off to a slow start. 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗃 has said as much. They just kind of got caught. That first week as well being played on an old patch that they couldn't play in solo queue. We know that GAM is a team that really relies on their individual mechanics, and if you can't play the patch in solo queue, those are going to suffer. So they got caught out in the first week. I am willing to write that one off. And then the rest of the split, they were super, super dominant. But I think the team does have noticeable weaknesses, and if they end up going up against a team like 𝘀𝗀cie, I still heavily favor GAM to win that, don't get me wrong, but there are holes in the armor, and if 𝘀𝗀cie can find them, they can win that series.
I personally am very, very excited for the matchup against Cerberus if we get to see it. I know there's still player Cerberus that has to be overcome. It's the big obstacle there. But I expect GAM to be the ones reaching the final from their side of the bracket, if we want to call 4 teams competing a bracket. But this team against Cerberus, yes, they lost 0-2, but they also kind of drafted themselves into a huge hole. They disrespected the victor. They didn't go for the usual very aggressive dive compositions. They tried to scale against Cerberus. And I'm not sure if I would call GAM the favorites. I think we definitely have seen Cerberus is the better team right now. But I'm still excited for the rematch.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an amazing rematch because GAM is going to be on their best behavior, hopefully, especially in pick and bans. And then, yeah, this team can still win for sure.
It's an exciting prospect always as the rivalry continues to kind of develop. It was with Flash, and then Flash fell off a cliff. Hopefully they can come back with some of the youngsters. But Cerberus has kind of taken up the mantle now. It was supposed to be Saigon, and now all of a sudden it's another contender who looks just more powerful than GAM. So let's get to 𝘀𝗀cie then, because 𝘀𝗀cie is also a team that we have to pay attention to, because this was a team that actually filled the mantle of Saigon Buffalo, where they almost got relegated previously. They did win the entire tournament, which was one thing to kind of bank on. They replaced a handful of players. Their bot lane and their top lane both got replaced between 𝘀𝗀𝗃d, which was a clear upgrade, and then Vitten H3, which is a little curious. But the team caught absolute fire, both off the development of 𝘁𝗀𝗃 and 𝘁𝗍𝗍, and these new players kind of stepping up into their role respectively. My biggest question about this 𝘀𝗀𝗃 team, right? Do they, especially since it's likely that they're taking on GAM, can they overcome GAM to get into finals to compete with Cerberus? Is this a team that has, is there a very clear-cut difference between what is the number 2 team and the number 3 team here that 𝘀𝗀𝗃 just will have a ton of trouble overcoming, barring anything crazy away?
So, yeah, I think there is a big difference between 2 and 3, because if we look at their standings, they look close to GAM, but if you actually consider how the first and second half of the split went, we have a 6-1 team ending up in second and third position, and I believe their second half they ended with 9 wins, right? Or 10? 9? So actually a negative record on the second half of the split. They lost to teams like BTS, which, I mean, it's not a shame. Cerberus just lost to them as well, but still not looking as dominant anymore. I think they've lost some of their early magic. We've heard word from their coaching staff that maybe they're a little bit shook by the new meta and so on, not really able to adapt to the preseason too well. So I feel like 𝘀𝗀𝗃 is sadly trending down a bit. I'm still insanely happy to see this team step up and reach the playoffs, but I think their journey ends next week in the semifinals, unfortunately.
I have a caveat. I overall, I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I heavily favor GAM if that is the matchup that ends up happening. I wouldn't even necessarily blame Cerberus if they pick 𝘀𝗀𝗃. You just lost to BTS. Maybe you don't want to deal with that hoodoo. And I think they lose to Cerberus as well, no matter who they fight up against. The one caveat, though, is that there is the chance that 𝘁𝗀𝗃 gets out his D20, throws it on the table, and the Nat 20 comes up, and he just monsters people. Because when 𝘁𝗀𝗃 has that gear in him, he can shift up into 8th gear and just absolutely monster a map, and it does not matter who he's playing against. It does not matter. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 on top form, no one can stop him.
That was really on display in week 4 when they played Cerberus. That first game was a masterclass of luxury. It was the pinnacle, the apex of what we've seen them been able to kind of accomplish. The number 1 team in the league stood across from them, and they made them look like chumps. Like they out macroed them, they out microed them. They did everything right over the course of that game. So I think luxury has such a high possibility to them, but it's so hard to say that the average of this team is enough to beat GAM on any given day and Cerberus on any given day. We're excited to see them in playoffs, especially joining BTS now. There's some competition, especially after having seen the last series, but now we get into the series here. Again, this series has been downplayed a little bit just because there's zero ramification to this because standings do not change for any teams. Even if this is a win or a loss, it does not matter as Saigon's not moving and GAM is not moving. So let's talk, I guess, a bit more about Saigon because they walked into this split the number 2 team in the entire league. They had beaten Cerberus, which was a Cerberus that was looking up very, very close to what you're seeing right now in terms of players. And they beat them very handily in the semifinals match. And it was, of course, playoff Cerberus. And then came in challenged a little bit. They did take 1 game. It's not huge, but they took some game off of GAM inside of that finals. This team fell seemingly off a cliff this split, having gone now with a negative record, potentially sticking with a negative record into 5th place, not even coming back to playoffs. What happened? 𝘀cie, I guess 𝘀cie.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's meta. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of meta. Obviously, 𝘀𝗀𝗀 really shone in the 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 meta, just playing the super fast, tanky, engaged junglers. But I don't want to put it down to meta because I don't think it's that. I think it's form. 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 has definitely fallen off. He kind of returned to 2020 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 when, he was a liability to his team. 2021 spring, 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 stepped up and he was a very good mid laner. Yeah, he was still weird. He was still 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, but he was good. He was absolutely an asset to the team. And then, unfortunately, this winter split, we have gone back to, the water is slowly boiling and he hasn't even noticed, which is not what we want. 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 has fallen off. 𝘁𝗲𝗺's doing his best, but it's just not a top lane carry meta. What can he do?
I think they've also lost a little bit of their what made them special, right? And even in spring, if we just looked player for play, we would probably say Cerberus is the better team. But Saigon 𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗹 was the team with a new strategy, with amazing synergy, with game plans in the early game that even outshone GAM's approach to the early game. GAM just monstered their way to gold leads. But honestly, Saigon 𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗹 had the better plans. And now they were just more than the sum of their parts, for sure. They had the best synergy of any team. Now all of that is gone. They're just mundane players right now, and that's where they ended up being. 5th place, just in the middle of the pack. Nothing special, nothing to write home about. It's very, very sad to see such an exciting strategical rookie team end up just being an oversight, honestly.
Yeah, just sort of a boring story.
It is a tragedy, I suppose, coming in. That's not without their bright spots, right? Like there were plenty of times where like Shogun is a rookie ADC came in. I think if the team had done better, made it to playoffs, there's potential that would have been pretty much a clear cut over top of 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. But now that that's been sullied a little bit, the conversation's probably a bit closer between the likes of Shogun and 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 than it needed to be. 𝘁𝗲𝗺 statistically has still been one of, if not the best top laner in the league. I still think 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is definitely a top 2 support. I will stick to this no matter what. I know B is very good as well, but 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 I think has proved this split, even when his team is down, alongside 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, they're the best 2 pretty much definitively, and B's right there in the conversation as well. But
we saw a Shyvana hover there for a moment. 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 shouting out.
𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, by the way. 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀.
Yeah. No, they're not going to do any swaps. Not allowed. Not allowed.
The potential for a meme draft would be great.
Yeah, look, I'm not too sure if we will get a meme draft, just because I think SGB, obviously, they prepped for the day thinking that this would really matter. Because, of course, if BTS had lost to Cerberus, which they should have, statistically, then this match matters. And because if SGB upset GAM, they're in playoffs. But unfortunately, BTS played out of their minds, took down Cerberus in this game. It doesn't matter even if SGB do win, but I think both teams would have kind of come in with the mentality that it's going to matter, so I don't know if we're going to get meme drafts.
One very interesting thing I'm already spotting on the side of GAM is this draft looking super similar to Skye's draft, right? We have 𝘁𝗄𝗃. That's the quintessential bot lane for Skye in their successful run on the second half. Victor, of course, is just Victor. So I always suspected... Probably. We saw one game of 𝘁𝗃 though, so can go into the mid lane again. When I first saw Skye really pop off with this kind of draft, the very dive-heavy composition, I said on draft, on cast I should say, that they looked to me like GAM. They looked like they scrimped GAM, and maybe that's actually true, because now we see GAM do the same on the other side, look like Skye. So maybe it's also just to strike fear into Skye and the potential matchup. If Cerberus chooses 𝘀𝑺cie, then BTS is going to play against GAM. And GAM just telling BTS, look at us, we can actually play the 𝘁𝗁 as well. You can't just get away with the 𝘁𝗁.
There's a little bit of spice. Levi going back to an old favorite. Are we going to see 5-minute nocturnals?
DNK cosplay. DNK cosplay. It's not fair because it's Levi's cosplay that DNK was doing. But yeah, the champion's strong. We've seen that, and Levi knows how to play it. So
it's Levi dressed up as DNK, dressed up as Levi.
He's cosplaying a costume for Halloween.
Yeah, it's Levi.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we talk about, it took us literally the whole split, the entirety of this patch for somebody to figure out 𝘁𝗁𝗃 is insane, and it's Froggy that figures it out. He can roam on this champion, and it's a lane. Why is this not been a perfect?
No, we did actually have one. We had Blazers, didn't we?
Blazers doesn't exist.
And he was ridiculous.
This is a meaningless match.
Are we finally getting an 𝘀𝗀𝗃? He has not been picked the whole time. Can we please have 𝘀𝗃𝗃?
We're not picking 𝘀𝗀𝗃.
Please, 𝘁𝗃, do it for me, please.
𝘁𝗃, come on. Give us what we want.
Boo! I made $30 on this stream just betting on champions. We know the trends. It's just that simple. Anyhow, the team has come together on both sides. I do like the 𝘁𝗁𝗃. We're finally seeing it way too late in the split as the response to the Victor. But I mean, this seems like a really, really well-rounded GAM draft.
Yeah, SGB just trying to stack ADCs, as many as they can find. Just an ADC from the mid lane, an ADC in the bot lane. Oh, let's put one in the jungle as well. Yeah, it could have gone 𝘀𝗀𝗃 or Quinn in the top lane, maybe next game. We actually, 𝘁𝗀𝗃 is a very good top lane ADC player. I want the Vayne top. He had amazing games in spring. Vayne top, next game, I'm calling it now.
Set a support.
We're Kindred. ADC in the jungle? We're Kindred?
Voice Kindred.
Voice my wife?
Oh, all right. Well, kicking off into this one, I mean, the team compositions have already been pulled away from us, which makes me think maybe there was a mess up in the draft, as VETV tends to do on occasion.
No.
I don't think that's permanent necessarily, but I mean, they don't usually pull off the draft from the screen unless something happens. So we'll have a chance to pontificate upon these a little bit more, our orb being pondered as much as possible here as these compositions have come to fruition. Did you like what you saw?
Two more synonyms for think about?
I don't know that. I don't know two more synonyms.
We can mull over the draft a little bit more, right?
Have a dialogue about the picks, yeah. I think, by the looks of it, I think there was just some issue with GAM swapping their champions around. I do think this is a different look out of GAM. Again, there is a little bit of a difficulty. People may be saying, oh, why are the casters being so silly? Why are they making jokes? This game doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless. And how much of the team's playing into that is what I'm getting at. Like, does Levi actually think Nocturne is good? Or is he just going, oh, 2019 Worlds was fun. I would like to think about that.
Was it?
It's fun for that one game.
No, it wasn't. Oh, God. I will never get over that 𝘁𝗃 Nocturne combo against 𝘁𝗀𝗃, where they just did the same combo.
J-Team, I believe.
Oh, J-Team, right. Yeah, it was J-Team. You are correct. Where they just did the 𝘁𝗃 Nocturne combo 8 times in the same Baron dance.
They did win the game, but...
that was the one game they won.
Oh, no.
I don't... Go ahead.
Sorry. This is actually the finals rematch, right? So if you want to, we want to set this up as a meaningful game, like give the viewers the illusion of an important matchup here. We have the spring final rematch. This is the time for 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 to fight back GAM and actually get their revenge for absolutely nothing. But in the end, I hope the teams are having a little bit more fun. The compositions are going to be very explosive, especially the bot lane matchup. Tristana and Alistar against 𝘁𝗁. No one is going to hold back there. That's just all in from minute one, hopefully.
Also, especially because 𝘁𝗀𝗀 got Graves, but he's playing into the Nocturne from Levi. Expectation might be that your narrative that Graves is a terrible champion might actually be played quite a bit this time if he just decides to farm against the Nocturne and do nothing. If Levi takes over the map, things look a little bit dire. So there's that to consider as well as a potential thought process. This game, I feel like where damage isn't sufficient, it's like where fight,
HP,
where HP, where CC, like they've got Alistar, but that's not going to help 4 ADCs necessarily in assisting that process.
It's definitely a bit of a wacky one. I can see it working. 𝘀𝗋𝗋 is eternally cursed. You did cross that hag at one point in your life, and every champion you say is terrible is guaranteed to pop off. So it's a Graves. He's going to be sick, of course.
It's 𝘁𝗀𝗀.
Also, you are also cursed that in order to maintain your hatred of Graves, you do have to say Nocturne is good.
Quick question, man. If that's the case, right? If you've been cursed by a hag that now makes it so that every single champion you talk about is that's bad is then good, but then you tweet about it, right? That's a double negative. So like you might be okay to talk about how bad Graves is on Twitter, just as long as you don't mention the teams. Okay, yeah, it looks like we had a trading problem and things are now fixed across the board.
Look at the bans. Okay, what did they spell out here?
They had to rush through the bans, so it looks like it was like top to bottom.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, some of them are though. Like why did they
𝘁𝗁𝗀? Okay,
maybe it spells something in Vietnamese.
Yeah, it's probably Vietnamese has different order.
On GAM, I mean, on GAM, that's could be a word. I could see how you pronounce it, 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗀. That could be a word. We don't know. Also, one thing we did notice with these redrafts, the eternal curse of our producer does stand. SGB has banned 𝘀𝗀𝗋𝗀. 𝘀𝗀𝗋𝗀 features in their draft, so they are guaranteed to win. If you ban 𝘀𝗀𝗋𝗀, you win.
I wonder how this affects
they need the secret strategies for sure to win today, but maybe it's a little too late. They should have banned 𝘀𝗋𝗋 last week. What's the play?
Who knows? I wonder if have we had a banned Akshan yet? This might be the first Akshan ban in the world.
I think
the LTLs had a couple of times. He showed up in.
Yeah, he showed up in Nest. He actually got played a bit in Nest because that was a bit more of a for-fun tournament. They really wanted to just show the champion off, I think. He might see some play in 𝘀𝗀𝗋 Cup, who knows? Obviously still a bit of a for-fun tournament, maybe a little bit more serious, but has not shown up in VCS Winter. I mean, the thing with Akshan is he came out, he was really broken for a while, and then by the time any actual league was playing, he'd already been nerfed. So
he's still very good in solo queue, especially in the top lane position. So maybe something for 𝘁𝗀𝗋 to look into. If they stomp game 1, I have not great hopes, but maybe just a slimmer of hope.
If they stomp game 1, I think we have to start cashing in favors with 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗀 to get our meme picks. I think that's how that works. But I mean,
do you want a subscription to this channel? I can make it happen.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗀. You pick Carrot Jungle, I'll buy you a subscription to the channel. I'll buy you a tier 3 subscription. Easy.
Yeah, easy. Trying to maybe injecting a little bit more actual analysis in. It is interesting to see 𝘁𝗀𝗋 on Victor. He's played it once before, but this is something we've always observed is, can 𝘁𝗀𝗋 play these mid lane champions? He's a great mid laner, but he doesn't necessarily play a lot of the majors if he doesn't have to. Victor is so broken that if you can't play that in playoffs, it's a glaring hole in the draft. So this is a bit of a sign that they have well and truly patched that hole.
Also, Victor Nocturne against Graves 𝘁cie might be the least aggressive 2v2 in the VCS of all time. But all of these champions have no interest in fighting early. Maybe Graves to a certain extent, but all of the others just want to farm. They just want to stay in lane and wait for 10, 15 minutes to hit. So this is SGB against GAM, two of the most aggressive teams in Spring Split at least, fighting with no aggression whatsoever in mid jungle, but I think the bot lane is going to make up for it, so I'm hopeful.
I think GAM also showing the fact that 𝘁𝗏e plays Victor, it opens up this possibility for 𝘁𝗏e, 𝘁𝗏e as a flex pick Victor option, which is super important against 𝘀𝗏rie because they have to get that champion away from Blazes because he's just too good of a Victor pick. So whenever they're on blue side, they have that control. They can even start blue side if Victor control ends up being something important over the course of the series, be it for picking or banning. That's something to at least pay attention to when we get to that playoff game next week, is to pay attention to how that pick kind of shifts. This 𝘁𝗏e came out of nowhere. 𝘁𝗏e buffs don't come till 11:25, right? Like 11:24, did she get touched up? I cannot remember.
It's VCS technically.
I know it's VCS, but yeah, 24B, whatever it is. But it's not buffed yet, is what I'm saying. So the champion is just like, it's getting picked because people like the champion right now.
I mean, I think we probably are on 20. Is 24B is not out
No, it's
yet,
not live.
Right?
No, it's not.
It's not live yet. Okay, fair enough. My mistake. Yeah, look, it's the VCS. 𝘁𝗏e could do literally 1 damage with every auto attack, and they'd still sometimes pick her.
It's true. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
They
I'm
just
gonna
love
step
𝘁𝗏e.
out. I'm gonna step out because you guys have things to do. Go Saigon Buffalo. I'm biased. I'm allowed to. This game doesn't matter. Goodbye.
See ya. We'll talk to you again after this game. I think we've even got our favorite German back. It's 𝘀cie. I can see him on his camera. Hi, 𝘀cie. Everyone in chat say hi, 𝘀cie. But we are on to the Rift your way. This should be a fun game for sure. I think the teams should be able to inject some levity into it, have a bit of fun. Don't need to try hard this one. Just close the split with a cracker. I want fights. I want action. I want broken bones and broken bodies.
Oh, I have something for you. Check the summoner spells in the bot lane from both sides.
Oh, that's fighting.
Double exhaust, double ignite, double hail of blades, and interestingly also double glacial. So no tankiness, no heal, all in. Everything about the first 3 seconds of the fight. So I think the bot lane has to be explosive. If they manage to go killless in this bot lane, something's wrong with these players. I'm convinced this is going to be a brawl from start to finish in the bot lane. So all eyes on this 2v2. 𝘁𝗏ie and Shogun trying to challenge Style and B.
Honestly, 𝘀𝗀 robbing us by forcing his bot lane to leash. Now the level 2 is kind of decided to go in GAM's favor. To be fair, they had a 𝘁𝗏e, so it already was. But that means we probably don't get the all-ins because SGB should actually respect that.
Well, Shogun can push very quickly if he utilizes E on the next wave on the first 3 minutes. Oh, 𝘀𝗀ie struggling with the early trades. Both mid laners actually going for the first strike, which also might accelerate the scaling a little bit. I expect this to go more in 𝘁𝗏ie's favor as we see him already getting the better end of the trades, because Victor just has a little bit more damage than 𝘁𝗏ie until level 6. Maybe level 6 𝘁𝗏ie can turn it around with more long range starts with the ultimate, of course, but so far nothing really has happened of any huge importance.
I mean, it is a bit of a head scratcher that 𝘀𝗀ie is playing 𝘁𝗏ie. It's not a 𝘀𝗀ie champion, is it? Like, you actually have to be out of CS to play 𝘁𝗀ie.
Okay, I know it's narrative time, but 𝘀𝗀ie on the Victor, which is a very similar champion to 𝘁𝗏ie, actually always puts in decent performances in laning phase, so...
Yeah, he only loses by 15 CS.
No, he was even in CS. Stop this. Stop the 𝘀𝗀ie flame. But yeah, I think he's going to be under a lot of pressure. 𝘁𝗏ie just has the better end of the trades so far, so 𝘀𝗀ie is going to fall behind. All the 𝘀𝗀ie haters can rejoice, because they don't have to stare at his CS being even. But he also gets the opportunity to make the first play from the mid lane happen once his first package spawns. I believe at around 5 minutes or something. So that's going to be an easy setup. And everyone is 𝘀𝗀ie in this game, so the package can really just kill absolutely every champion on the game.
Yeah, for sure. Junglers currently on opposite sides of the map, nothing actually happening early. I'm shocked that this bot lane is as calm as it is. You could cut the tension with a knife, or to use your way of speaking, you could stab the tension. 𝘀𝗶𝗃 getting chunked out there.
To be
Husband
honest,
with a good trade.
If you were the 𝘀𝗍, would you really want to engage on 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀? That's a messy business. I don't think so.
It's true. I don't think I'd want to get in there. That's a good point. Wow, these jokes are going to be absolutely indecipherable for chat because these are just jokes between us. Oh, man, this is a fun one. Levi up on the top side is clearing out some vision. The Nocturne, they obviously know exactly where he is, but he doesn't want to make a play until level 6. 𝘀𝗋, where's my
Why
action?
is this game
Where's
so
my
calm? Yeah, exactly. Hello, you're not playing for anything. Can we please have some fights? Hey, we are getting close to level 6 in the mid lane, so these champions will finally be able to actually burst someone down, not just poke for 2 damage with every ability, as B is just stealing away some experience from 𝘁𝗏. Yeah, 𝘁𝗏 just wanted to clear the wave, but 𝘁𝗏 is really not ready to fight here, and 𝘁𝗏 is there.
Where did he come from? He comes from out of nowhere. B's caught, B's taken down, Froggy gets a meal.
And the perfect emote for Froggy. Did you see that? The 𝘁𝗀 frog emote. Froggy knows what's up. That's good to see. He's behind in CS, but who cares? He gets the kill. 𝘁𝗏 showing his 𝘀𝗍. Where did he come from? I need to replay of his path. How did he end up there?
It's a good question. He was on the he's on the Farm Express there, but it was absolutely perfect. As he just came in, the glacial meant that there was no chance for B to do anything, and that's a good start there for SGB. How does he get there?
Okay,
he just wanders in.
I think he wasn't spotted, actually.
Jungle and is like,
la la la.
He knows. He knows that this is going to happen. Oh my word. How do you play around that? How on earth do you expect him to be there?
And sever these moments right now, because we will not see 𝘁𝗏, one of our best support players, certainly the most creative support player, in the players. That's a huge tragedy and a loss for the league. But we only have 4 teams reaching the players, so sever every single moment in this game where you can see 𝘁𝗏 roams, especially on his 𝘀𝗍. As 𝘁𝗏 is just controlling Froggy in the mid lane, still with a nice push and forcing 𝗀𝗀 to respond to this one. Let's check in with Levi. He's close to level 6, actually going for the Lethal Tempo, a little bit of an older build. I'm not actually sure if Lethal Tempo is that great on Nocturne with the change to
he's going for the kill, but Husband pumps him back, but it doesn't matter. 𝘀𝗏 is just better.
𝘁𝗏 is so unfair. Husband actually with such a cool counterplay, but then 𝘁𝗏 just comes in and saves 𝘀𝗏. 𝘀𝗏 doesn't even flash, so now Husband is in big trouble. He doesn't have the flash against 𝘀𝗏, and 𝘀𝗏 got the solo kill, and probably will get another plating as Husband already used his teleport, so 𝘀𝗏 can run away with the top lane matchup. This already is a great matchup for Irelia, especially if she doesn't get put behind with some jungle interaction early on. She's ahead in CS, and this is gonna be a hard time for Husband for the next few minutes.
It is. He does get that 𝘬𝗍𝗺 though on, he dies, but 𝘬𝗍𝗺 is a good first item. It's a strong component. So at least there's a little bit of reprieve stats-wise. Oh, but Irelia just hit full build. She completed the Vamp Scepter.
So let's look at this again. Husband actually, he gets hit by the outer edge of the E. He gets stunned there. I love this flash. This is so nice. But the unfortunate thing with the flash is, of course, he positions away from the tower, so only one tower shot hits 𝘀𝗏 after the kill. That had to be done because of the insect play, but in the end he actually gives 𝘀𝗏 a way out there. And that is the top lane matchup. The 2 best top laners of our league. Maybe not this split, actually this split as well. Fighting each other back and forth. Usually a very close matchup. This is now time for 𝘀𝗏 to show who is the best.
Yeah, and look, 𝘀𝗏, we've had some doubts about him throughout the split and the spring split as well. Not his greatest. Obviously still an elite top laner, but we want to see him being clearly the best top laner. I know me and you are original 𝘀𝗏 fans, big supporters of this guy. I love his story. So I do want to see him continuing his rise as 𝘀𝗀. Sorry?
𝘀𝗀 just... it took him so long to find the eye. He just walked back and forth. The Rifthold just trolling 𝘀𝗀 with just turning around back and forth. Yeah, 𝘀𝗰𝗋, 𝘁𝗲, two of our favorite players, honestly, on VCS English. I think we like both of them a lot. But yeah, 𝘀𝗰𝗋 has always been my favorite top lane. I think he's the most consistent one. 𝘁𝗲 maybe a little bit more creative when it comes to champion picks, his champion pool, his carry potential, and some of his specialties is very good.
Oh
no, Levi
the lights are out. Oh no, he's frogged it. Get away.
Oh, that was ugly. Froggy with the first package. He cuts it short. A little bit of an 𝘀𝗰𝗰𝗀𝗀 play there, just going into the enemy backline and insta-dying for no reason whatsoever.
Oh my word. Yeah, look, he just went too far, was very, very far ahead of his team, didn't actually deal the damage from the package, and then the paranoia came in. Disaster, honestly. That's now 5 minutes before he can do that again. He leaves mid lane, loses more farm to the Victor. You hate to see it.
Let's take a second to look at Nocturne. So, preseason hit and everyone was hyped to see Nocturne because of the stories we all saw with the Action arc on Nocturne. The only player to really play Nocturne to any success was DNK, which is no surprise to anyone because he is the Nocturne player. No one else really picked up on the Nocturne. And Levi now, 1 ultimate, 1 kill. That's fair enough, but he didn't really do anything for it. He just came in for the last hit. He used his flash too. This champion has huge issues right now. Even though the action arc is amazing, it's so squishy. It's basically a one-way trip to hell, and you either kill the enemy or you just die for free. So I haven't really been impressed with Nocturne in my games or the games I've seen on the Rift in pro play either. And I think his win rate is actually atrocious right now.
It is. It's awful.
It's really bad. So even though people think Nocturne is great, he's actually pretty bad. So I want to go back to look at this Nocturne in this game because Lethal Temper to me makes no sense on the new Nocturne.
Hang on a minute. Jake. We'll have to come back to this one as 𝘀𝗀 is moving in onto 𝘀𝗰𝗋. The smoke screen doesn't land. A lot of mobility from this 𝘀𝗋𝗋. There's the Vanguard's edge. He's trying to heal up. I don't think he's got a chance, though. End of the line, and 𝘁𝗲 gets the kill.
Easy. On the other side, Levi is going to get a free dragon, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but it's a nice way to get 𝘁𝗲 back into the game. 𝘁𝗀𝗋 should be fine here. And we have a Chemtech Rift. This is not good for SGB. No. They are the only team to lose a game with Chemtech Sword.
Hang on a minute. Maybe it is a little bit of added bonus to GAM. Because they have 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 Rel, and there's gas everywhere.
Oh, man. We have a good objective trade, but Nocturne is here, and there's a disaster for SGB.
It's a big knockup from the cow, but it just doesn't matter. 𝘁𝗀𝗋 on the run. 𝘁𝗋𝗋's here as well. Unfortunately, didn't get an assist on that first kill, so the Victor doesn't get much. Froggy there to fend GAM off, but they're just dominating the map at the moment.
I mean, it's only 1 kill. SGB got the top tower for free, basically, after the gank. So the gold is even though it looks good for GAM, and this is very much what we expect from GAM. Bot lane dies with all their members, but 𝘀𝗰𝗋 has been their playstyle for over a year now. But this wasn't that great of a play, and 𝘁𝗲 can get another kill. Oh, good flash from B, though, to avoid dying. Yeah, in the end, SGB actually walks away happily.
Okay. They went for the pop there. Ooh, B, can he dodge the rockets? He's in the gas, so yeah, he'll be fine. They get away with the Chemtech Rift.
Yeah, 𝘀𝗀𝗋 from GAM actually overshooting a little bit there with the bot lane dive, only getting 1 kill because the enemy has 𝘁𝗀𝗋, and he just presses R. This time around, there's not enough damage to deal with the 50% damage reduction, and 𝘁𝗀𝗋 gets to walk away. In the meantime, though, 𝘀𝗋𝗋 mining away some tower gold, so he's still in a decent spot. He's 20 CS ahead, and he's moving into first item territory, which looks like Blade? Probably? I don't remember the build path for the new Blade, but this could be a Blade. Could also be a 𝘁𝗀𝗋. So
wait,
just
I will admit, she goes. She is, I think, the only champion in the game that still consistently goes Blade. I think Jax sometimes does, but I think win rate wise, he's actually better off not building Blade.
Even Viego hates Blade now.
Yeah, it's his sword.
Weapon.
It's his sword, and he's like, I'm good, thanks. I'll take this weird spear thing. So looking at 𝘁𝗀𝗋𝗀𝗀 builds, which is interesting, it's been a topic of discussion. Do you go the very weird hybrid build, or do you just go the regular AP? there's an amp tome in the inventory, so I think we are going to see the rockets.
I'm hyped to see some poke 𝘁𝗁𝗃 as well, as we have another fight, and there's Nocturne again!
Yeah, he's going straight in. Smart Valkyrie there for 𝘀𝑺, though, buying as much space as he can. They're committing the teleport. All 5 members of GAM are about to show up on the bot side. They've already picked up 1. They're about to pick up 2. And GAM are running away with it. But in comes 𝘀𝗀𝗀. Are you really sure about that? Gale Force is in. Collateral damage is out. Everyone from GAM survives. SGB cannot find a punch back.
And GAM looking at BTS and telling them, yeah, you did this for 1 game. We have done this for more than a year now. We can still execute the bot lane dives. We're just going to play a 𝘁 composition and play better than 𝘁. Add a little bit of flavor from Levi's Nocturne. And suddenly they get off to a great mid-game lead. 14 minutes in, 2k gold ahead. I think we have finished the Action arc as well, so we can expect the lights to get turned off over and over again. In fact, it's already ready again. So Nocturne ult, it used to be a long cooldown. It used to be all these years ago. It used to be, oh, you have to be so careful with your first Nocturne ult. It has to hit or the game is over. It doesn't matter anymore. Nocturne ult is 40 seconds, so just turn off the lights whenever you want. Yeah. As SGB at least walks away with 1 more objective.
It's eco-friendly. Like, just turn the lights off. You don't need the lights on while you're video gaming. You've got your monitor. As 𝘀𝑺, oh my word. He has to flash over the wall. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 will follow, and... are we allowed to be 𝘀𝑺 haters yet?
I don't want to be, but yeah, he's not really putting in the performance we are hoping for. Let's see if he can carry in the late game. The 𝘁𝗁𝗃. To be fair to him, 𝘁𝗁𝗃 into Aurelia is not really easy to play, so he just lost track of where 𝘁𝗀𝗀 was going. Oh god, I hate 𝘁𝗀𝗀's build. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is gonna be the drain tank #1, probably going into shield bow right now. So
yeah.
Very high damage, low HP, but deceptively tanky because of sustain, so I already want to see hero reduction coming in right now to shut down this Aurelia before she can snowball into the mid game.
Yeah, look, we'll have to see if that does work out. It is, you know, a kind of build that can get shut down by a well-placed bit of CC. We know 𝘁𝗃 is excellent on this 𝘁, so 𝘁𝗀𝗀 has to play well. As GAM now coming into the mid lane, 𝘁𝗀𝗃 whips in the laser. They're just going to clean the Herald up and set up for the first of these Chemtech Drakes.
Oh,
Levi spotted, has actually been caught. 𝘀𝑺 using the package. Can he land the last shot? He can. The Gale Force is going to finish it up as well. The lights are out, but Nocturne's not home, as they are going to chase GAM out of the river. SGB should be able to get this objective.
These are some of the issues this champion has. You don't really want to go wander somewhere on your own because you're just so squishy. You're basically a support player with a little bit more damage, but in terms of survivability, whenever you get caught, you just insta-die. You're not a Xin Zhao, you're not a 𝘁𝗀𝗃, you have no way out of the place. A little bit risky from BJ to smite this early, but they get away with the first Chemtech Dragon. And this Chemtech Dragon is actually quite nice to shut down 𝘁𝗀𝗀 as well, because all of your champions build no HP whatsoever. They're all ranged champions, which means their HP totals are going to be lower than 𝘁𝗀𝗀's. So you're dealing a little bit of extra damage to 𝘁𝗀𝗀, maybe even to Levi later on in the game though. Look at his HP bar, he is a squishy boy. Nothing you can do against these two collapsing on him, and then it's pretty much just a free kill.
Yeah, not a lot he can do about that one, as he does manage to, he gets over the wall, but the Gale Force will follow. Your way, it is 2k gold at 18 minutes. For the VCS, it's a pittance. A mere 2,000 gold separating the teams is almost nothing. Is SGB in a winning position here? Because the thing that worries me is that robot.
I certainly agree with you. Their composition is still wonky, to say the least. They have so many ADCs, and all of them, maybe apart from the 𝘁𝗁𝗃, get outranged by Viktor. So this is really on 𝘀𝑺 to control Viktor in the team fights. And so far, 𝘀𝑺's performance is leaving a lot to be desired. So I'm not really confident in calling him the one to decide the game. What is 𝘀𝗀𝗀 doing over there?
Getting killed is what he's doing over there, as he was clearing out a ward, wasn't scared of 𝘁𝗀𝗀, forgot that Levi can come in at a moment's notice, and that's just a free kill donated over to GAM.
And someone needs to count all the times people have died to this one path, to the mid lane from the side. When you just walk back to your own tower, this has happened so many times now, it's insane.
Did they make numbers that high?
I vividly remember 𝘁𝗀𝗀 doing it like 3 times in one game. Now 𝘀𝗀𝗀 just for no reason whatsoever, just walks over there, presents himself as a free gift to 𝘁𝘁, and out of nowhere, with very little game impact, 𝘁𝘁 is actually 3-1 and 2. And scaling, I'm not even sure if scaling is the right word. He's powering up for the later stages of the game. Is Nocturne good in the late game? Not really. I mean, he's a death missile and then dies himself as well. It's just
Froggy in some trouble. He has no chance to survive here. Will go down. Rel shields up, so there's no counter kill, and that's just easy. On the topic of Nocturne, the champion himself falls off, but what never falls off is killing everyone's vision. As, oh boy, the lights are out. They don't actually want to fight this, though. They're very scared of 𝘁𝗔. 𝘁𝘁's just saying, see you, 𝘁𝗏, you can deal with that one. I'm out of here.
And you can see how squishy this champion is. She was so strong in laning phase, and now just support in top lane enough to completely shut her down. I want to see items, no heal reduction even, so they just killed her straight up 2v2. 𝘁𝗁, wasn't 𝘁𝗁 walking away? SGB doing very nice moves here across the map our game goes to another dimension.
Coming up soon, Matrix Revelations. As, oh boy, and as we go back, Shogun has fallen down. 𝘁𝗏 should be able to sneak away. Oh, he's playing this one risky. Spotted out, BJ coming in from the side, but they don't actually want this fight, I don't think. As B tears forward, there's a teleport. But use 𝘁𝗏, you can't back there. You can't back there, sir. They're going to try and catch into him. B coming in from the side. Can he actually land the engage?
Nice.
No. Up into the air, dunked on down. That is not going to be a Rel engaged. Can they actually turn this one around? They do land one stun onto 𝘁𝗏. Out comes the Vanguard's Edge. Doesn't really do enough. Rocket whips in. Doesn't really do enough damage. Is only a big one that's actually hit. 𝘁𝗏 going low. Shock Blast isn't quite there. Collateral damage will take down 𝘁𝗏. Style moving forward. Wants to make something of this. Brings in his best friend 𝘁𝗁. They turn around. Exhaust goes onto the 𝘁𝗁. He's in a lot of trouble as he burns on down to the 𝘁𝗁.
Oh, 𝘁𝗁's lost track of his team. Just look over. Yeah, Nocturne turns off the vision in the game, but just look over to the monitor of your other players. Don't just walk in there. What was that? But in the end, a crazy fight. And SGB is putting up the best performance they can for their last series. They might be out of players, but they are not out of the league yet. They are going to play in Spring Split, and this is a decent performance up against GAM with very good team fighting, shutting down target calling. Suddenly, SGB of old seems to be back here with strong team fighting in the mid game. This was okay. This is 2 or 3 minutes ago, just shutting down 𝘁𝗏 and 𝘁𝗁 just walking away. It's a 2v2, top lane and support against top lane and jungle, and GAM doesn't fancy their chances. That's surprising to me. How did Shogun die? He tried to follow up with his team and then just walked into a deadly Robert. Oh.
Yeah, I feel like, he just gets caught by Rel, and 𝘁𝗏 just says, no, I'm good.
It's the Tristana syndrome. Just a little too aggressive there. Good dodge from 𝘁𝗁. And we have the third dragon potentially for 𝘁𝗀𝗶𝗹𝗀 on the cards. GAM, do you want to contest this one?
It looks like they want to, but I don't think they can. 𝘁𝗁 in position to go for a steal. Doesn't actually find it. That will be sole point now for SGB. But your way, what did SGB prove? 𝘁𝗏𝗃 isn't enough.
It is beatable. Cerberus certainly can apparently beat them, though there was a bug. Now I'm going to talk about this, as this should just be a little bit of a ruse from GAM. I think
they get this. No, they get this, Baron, 100%.
Yeah, and their pings coming in on the mini-map. 𝘁𝗏 as well. Can they punish this Baron take?
We'll have to find out. They're going to collapse onto 𝘁𝗏. Once again, that damage reduction is only so good against that much damage into the backline. Does go 𝘁𝗁. He gets immediately traded, though. On the other side, the cow has finally fallen. 𝘀𝗀 extremely low. Needs to try and thunk in a few more rockets. Can't do it. And 3 members of SGB are dead. GAM has Baron. They are making out like robber barons.
GAM, please explain to me why you haven't played 𝘁𝗏 Victor before. Amazing positioning from 𝘁𝗏, just cutting off the whole entrance point, just using his ultimate as an AoE tool to chunk everyone low. Of course, there's enough follow-up on either side of the teams. So this was just set up a 𝘁𝗏 hiding in the bush, the pixel bush there, to get all the damage initially on BJ and anyone approaching, and now GAM finally breaking open the mid game with a 5k gold lead. They're still facing the 𝘁𝗃 soul point, but it might not be enough for 𝘁𝗀𝗶𝗹𝗀 even if they get the 𝘁𝗃 soul.
So, do you want to explain the bug? It's a fun little thing. It's a fun little thing that did happen.
Yeah, the last time 𝘁𝗃_𝗀𝗀 is still a very new thing, right? So it's sometimes it bugs out some, and there are some weird interactions. So the last time 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗏𝗀 played against Cerberus, they had Rice. 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗏𝗀 was playing Rice, and in the team fights, in the deciding team fight, Rice went down and just didn't turn into a zombie. I guess he chose the wrong skin, so he just died instead of getting his 𝘁𝗃 soul. So the soul was completely useless. Let's hope it's not going to. Let's hope that doesn't happen again, because certainly not intended behavior. But you might argue this cost them a chance of.
Welcome back, everyone, to the VCS Analyst Desk, and welcome back, 𝘁𝗀cie from 𝘀𝗀𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 8. 𝘁𝗀cie, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I have a little bit of a headache. I mean, that this might be due to the vaccination or because of VCS. I haven't quite figured that one out. But other than that, like, the harm is a little bit heavier than usual. But that's just like stuff that's not really, I mean, frightening in any regard. So I am fit enough to be on the VCS Analyst Desk, I guess. Whether that is truly the case, it's something you decide, I would say.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I think I'm fine.
Okay, so the arms heavy thing is something concerning. Let us know if your palms get sweaty, and just there's plenty more to that, but we'll avoid that for the moment because we have a game to talk about.
Spaghetti.
Saigon, look, I was trying not to use the word because I knew it was going to crack me up. Okay, we have a game to talk about. Saigon was competitive for what seemed like 20 minutes of that game. 𝘁𝗀𝗋. Is that an appropriate amount of time before it just kind of got run away from by GAM?
I mean, the game was actually very close after the mid game, right? But then they gave up a Baron, they got caught in the bot lane, overcommitted to play, and GAM just runs away with the game quickly. That's just the GAM way of doing it. They are the best team at capitalizing on single team fights to win the games. So, not surprising, but it was pretty close. So, 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗏𝗀𝗀 could potentially win the next one. If they actually want to. I mean, you also have to consider this is the last time they're going to play this winter, so maybe they just say, oh, whatever. But I hope they put up a little bit of a show in the next game and actually take one off GAM so we get another game today.
So, another, I guess, 𝘁𝗀𝗃, I don't know how much of the last game you were able to catch, but we'll talk about GAM's dominance and what it means, I guess, for playoffs, just to stay on a more serious note before we divulge into more crazy stuff, as I have more planned for this desk. But GAM is showing the ability to flex Victor. They're showing a clear-cut style with like the 𝘁𝗀𝗃 being very highly prioritized on the bottom side. B's on point, 𝘁𝗀𝗃 is on point. Everyone seems to be firing on all cylinders. Is this a GAM in a 2-0 or even in a 2-1 situation where the next two games are really competitive / dominant from the side of them, where you believe that they are capable of beating the 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀 that we saw today in the finals, or even, I guess, in this case, 𝘀𝘀cie also in the semifinals?
I think they are, but not really because GAM is firing on all cylinders. I mean, that's also the case, don't get me wrong, but also because 𝘀𝗶𝗃, while I still believe in them, I still just think that they definitely have shown some weaknesses in the recent games, and I think GAM might just be ready to exploit it this time. We expected it actually to happen last week, but then Artemis kind of showed that this was far from the truth, and I wonder if like Ego gets back in form on the side of 𝘀𝗶𝗃, but speaking of this GAM, they look pretty decent, especially 𝘁𝗁𝗃 impressed me this game. I catch the whole game, by the way, and yeah, I mean, just once he solo killed 𝘁𝗁𝗃, I was basically like, that game must be in the bag. It wasn't quite in the bag for them as they then kind of dropped the ball a little bit, but 𝘀𝗀𝗃 also got their back, so it was ending up fine for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, 𝘀𝗀𝗃 continues to be underwhelming, to be nice to him. He was straight up atrocious in that game. He was bad in laning phase. All his plays went the other way. The first package just end the game right there. Wrap it up. That's not what 𝘁𝗀𝗃's supposed to do, because 𝘁𝗀𝗃 actually needs the first package to land, which is not the case for Nocturne anymore. The first ultimate doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, let's see what we're going for in the next draft. I think GAM is probably going to take this rather seriously, not fully seriously, but probably not going to go for meme compositions or anything. They in the past were the team to flame other teams for doing meme compositions. Team Secret comes to mind, or 𝘀𝗀𝗃 actually at that point. So I don't really expect this organization to go for meme compositions, but maybe a spicy pick in 1 or 2 positions.
So,
yes, please.
Yes. Reminder, really quickly, the word has been made. If 𝘁𝗃 Jungle is picked because 𝘁𝗃 is listening, he gets a free sub. That's what happens. Heck, I'll give 5 free subs if the 𝘁𝗃 Jungle is actually picked from the side of GAM or Saigon. I don't care. If they pick the 𝘁𝗃, I'm fine with it. Now, while we have a bit more time waiting for the draft to actually kick off, 𝘀𝗀𝗃, we had the segment that we had prepared for, talking about the most improved spring trending in spring failing, and I know you prepared it, and then you had to step out really quickly. So I'm going to give you an opportunity. I rolled again. Spring trending, this is what 𝘀𝗀𝗋 answered for us, so you're going to get a second answer here. I want to hear your thought on what player you're looking forward to seeing in the spring while we have this quick chance before the draft starts.
My pick for spring trending was actually 𝘀𝐻𝑖 from Team Secret. I really like what they had to offer overall as a team. I mean, they have been a bottom tier team for sure, but together with 𝘁𝗁𝗃, who is also like one of my candidates there, who has been actually not even the support before, and he was looking pretty solid, especially on Hook's reports like Nautilus and the Fresh, and I think that is a very good showing for especially 𝘀𝐻𝑖 and his support. I mean, I would basically pick those as a pair if I could, and I think those definitely deserve some credit there.
The bot lane of Team Secret. I think that's completely fair. Let's talk about this really quick. I think I memed about this before the draft had started, so I'll let you two take a lot of the reign. The 𝘁𝗀𝗃 priority crazy. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 𝘁𝗀𝗃, literally the words that came out of my mouth during the break, by the way.
Yeah, let's go. Into the 𝘁𝗀𝗃, you think? Or into jungle mid? Or what do you
it's got to be 𝘀𝗀𝗃, or it's got to be 𝘀𝗀𝗃 Ⅎ𝗿, right? Like, this is the best two.
Yeah.
I know they don't pair together like that, but like, they're the best 2 players for it.
Well, the 𝘁𝗀𝗃 is back to first pick. We're back to 2019 and 2020 VCS, where she was picked double the times that the second highest ADC was picked. So I guess we're moving back into a 𝘁𝗀𝗃 meta for some reason. Everyone has forgotten about the long-range ADCs, and we're just going to dive in again. But Styl had a decent performance, more than decent actually, very good performance. Let's see if we can repeat that success. And on the other side, it's SGB. It's a bruiser comp. Everyone is just following Sky's advice to just go for as many bruisers as possible and just throw everything in there. The first few seconds of the fight decide everything. So 𝘁𝗁𝗵𝗋 following the trend. No ranged champions allowed today.
I mean, I think the 𝘀𝗀𝗃 pick is actually the 𝘁𝗀𝗃 here. I mean, it's basically one of his favorite champions here. I mean, of course, the Yasuo pick I would also see 𝘀𝗀𝗃 on, but the Gragas Yasuo is something you usually want to pair together so they could actually have the ultimate synergy. I would expect it to be the bot lane or maybe BJ pulls the DNK out, and it will be the Yasuo jungle.
The DNK special. It's a DNK cosplay number 2, which would be crazy. That we got the Nocturne in Tin 1, and then we also got this in. See, they heard us. They're hovering the Kindred. They heard us a while back. They're taunting us. 𝘁𝗀𝗃, and obviously I think it's Ren on the other side. They've been listening to our broadcast, and they know.
Oh, I hate Diana so much. Please, no, Diana.
Everybody does.
I would actually like the Kindred because they lack range. I think the Kindred would make sense if you put Gragas Yasuo bot lane. So you have
it's not allowed. You're not allowed to draft range here. It's just not allowed.
Sorry.
They're actually going to draft 5 melee champions, aren't they?
Yes, please.
Oh. Okay, does that prevent... Okay, so my 2 thoughts, right? You could pick something like Set into that because you have melee champions.
That's locked.
I could have said that 𝘁𝗃 was going to be my second option. No one would believe me, so I'm just going to say I didn't say it. But I was going to postulate this because it is good in melee champions. Who plays this? Is this 𝘁𝗏 or 𝘁𝗏? It's got to be 𝘁𝗏, right?
Most likely. What matchup does she want to go into? I think Gragas is probably pretty free. It's easy to gank her though against the Gragas once he's level 6, so gonna be hard to not die as 𝘁𝗏 here. Kati can also just sit back and probably... if I remember correctly, matchup into Yasuo is actually not too bad. If the Yasuo actually goes mid lane, then she can attack with the... Does the E go through Wind Wall?
Yes, it
does. I don't quite remember.
Yeah,
I think it does, right?
For your objective, that was like a special thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So they selected 𝘁𝗏 when they meant to select Taric. That was actually going to be a jungle 𝘁𝗏, but then they actually had to restart the draft in case that's what happened. So.
You can actually jungle 𝘁𝗏. It's possible.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. it can't be.
That was the pre-rework 𝘁𝗏, but yes.
Pre-rework. That used to be my Twisted Tree line pick. So I had a friend
easily jungle 𝘁𝗏 today as well.
Yes, especially with like the item differences. Yeah, she's got plenty. That throws me back. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole of the Trundle and Anivia 𝘁𝗏 composition we used to run. But like that used to be, it was disgusting in the day just because people got boxed in. But we're waiting for the draft to restart here. I don't know what stays and what goes. I'm assuming it was the 𝘁𝗏 pick that things just kind of went awry for a little bit of time. I think Set is my preferred idea, and then 𝘁𝗏 into melees is always enjoyable just because your first 6 levels end up being the only time in the game where you're weak, whereas opposed to like pre-11 when like all of a sudden you become a ranged champion and then your damage starts to come through, but it doesn't really matter.
Well, nowadays she gets range at level 6 if I remember correctly, right? Yeah, they changed that a while ago. Yeah, okay. I misheard you. She gets her second range spike at 16, right? But yeah, she doesn't quite.
It's not much range. It's like 100 range she gets there. I mean, it's not like a huge deal.
Even,
I think it's only 50. I think maybe even. I mean, it's. I wouldn't say it's not a deal, but it's not that huge. I mean, you definitely gain some advantages through having more range, of course. But the big spike is, of course, 𝘁𝗏 getting her items by that point, and then just running over teams with like the Riftmaker, Nashos, and maybe even the Death Cam at that point. And then you basically cannot duel her. You likely also cannot 1v2 her. You need CC to lock her down, so she cannot ult herself easily.
No.
And you're in trouble.
One more question, quick trivia. Let's see if either of you two remember what champion I was like hounding for in week number 1 that GAM would not play. That would be perfect into a composition of all melee champions. Do you know what 𝘁𝗏's champion is that he played to 𝘁𝗏 back in the day, back like 2018 when he was first in mid lane?
I mean, it cannot be Set because Set didn't exist back then.
Nope.
And you just
That's right.
we might also Set countless times.
It is a different, earlier pre-2019 𝘁𝗏 special that is fantastic in the melee compositions. And I did jockey for this split. I believe I was on desk with you, 𝘀𝗀𝗃. It's not Veigar.
Not Veigar? Okay.
No. The champion is Anivia.
Oh,
he is
of course.
6-0. He's a great Anivia player from back in the day.
I want to see Anivia.
Anivia would be fantastic, and especially again when you're picked 4 champions that were melee to start with. Yes, you have the problem of like the Gragas barrel potentially dislodging you and being an issue, but outside of that, I mean, you take Anivia, you press ultimate, all of a sudden you can encroach upon their territory. That territory is immediate via Anivia. Sieging against that is impossible. Team fighting against it is miserable. I would love to see 𝘁𝗏 do it one time. I would almost like that more than Taric. I won't gift subs for it, but I will. I would love it and appreciate 𝘁𝗏 if you listen to me for once.
Or the Reyna just one-shots the Anivia. It could also happen.
Yeah, it's 𝗀𝗀𝗀's. If it's 𝗀𝗀𝗀's Diana, I'm not worried.
I mean, to be fair, one-shotting mages is really hard right now, right, with the crown.
Yeah.
So Olivia should be fine. I do not expect to see that, but let's see what the
crown
actual
also. Crown gives that filthy 40 AP when it's not broken, so they have to contest it somehow, and nothing has the range to beat that Anivia's like immediate kind of withdrawal. So Crown would also make sense to build, which is even better.
Yeah, nobody could really poke it out, but you just need a lucky 𝘀cie barrel or maybe like the question strike from the Diana, and it's actually the 𝘀𝗀 coming out. I mean, 𝘀𝗀, of course, kind of profits from all these mini champions because he doesn't get outpoked, and Karthus goes on top of it. I mean, that kind of fixed like the damage on the side of GAM, with like adding a huge component of magic damage there. But other than that, I mean, it's Levi special. I will never question it, and I actually do not dislike the pick here as well.
No, that's right.
No.
You ruined your composition. I mean, it's an amazing pick into Karthus, so it is a very good pick here. We can deny Karthus ulti and then also steal away the Karthus ult from 𝘀ocky's side. So maybe a good countermeasure. I actually am liking what. Wait, are we going to see 𝘁𝗀𝗃 on Sylas?
So this is what I was thinking about. What happens if we get like Sylas support, Kindred ADC, and then you get a Yasuo on the top side of the map alongside the Gragas? Things get a little crazy. Now, out of fairness, I can't remember what champion it is. I think it's 𝘀𝗀𝗃, and there's one other that Sylas specifically is a counter pick to here in America that we use that for. It is not popular. There's only a handful of people who do it, but it is something that is used. I don't think Alistar's on the list, but it would make sense because the ultimate is powerful. You can challenge in the melee range. Like things aren't ridiculous, right? It's not completely nonsensical in that case. And 𝘁𝗀𝗃's the only support I would allow to do this because it's not.
It's not changing right now.
Yeah, I mean, Yasuo is obviously the top lane pick here, and you want to win for the Jace poke, and also like you want 𝘀𝗀𝗀 as a Gragas around it. It will be the Sylas supporter thing, and Shogun goes for Kindred AD carry.
We could take re-rolling, which is the problem. Like we could have like 𝘀𝗀𝗀 support and like. But
it would also make sense if Gragas Yasuo goes spot and like you have Kindred jungle Sylas top lane, but you don't want Sylas against Jace top.
That makes much more sense.
So.
Yes.
We also have 𝘀ocky Diana, which is actually a traditional pick for him. He was very good Diana player in the VCSB days. So even in his first split, I believe, he played a lot of Diana. So this is something he's very confident on. We have the melee clash in the solo lanes, especially in mid lane. I would hope to see Yasuo against 𝘀𝗀𝗀 in lane, so maybe 𝘁𝗃 can lane swap into top lane. I want to see the brothers fight it out, duke it out from start to finish. Don't meet each other only in team fights. I want to see Yasuo against 𝘀𝗀𝗀 in lane. I've never seen that in my life, and yeah, I think I need it.
Yeah, it's necessary. Funny enough, also though, like if they're dipping into the champion pool of 𝘀ocky from back in the day, Diana's not the champion I would have wanted to see. I wanted to see the Rammus mid lane, and especially into into Jace and 𝘀𝗀𝗀. You're gonna take away my Rammus? Like, come on, like Saigon. Like they're toying with us just enough to let us know that they're thinking about crazy compositions without diving head first. There's no 𝘂𝗀𝗄, there's no nonsense. Like, it would be really cool to see 𝘁𝗀𝗃 on the Sylas support, because otherwise, I feel like there's not a good position for Sylas here. Like, you don't want him into Jace. You don't really want him into 𝘀𝗀𝗀. Jungle Karthus would be Karthus might actually be a really fun time because you can counter jungle like crazy. But we'll get to see that once we get into the lobby. Sure.
So I have a question for the both of you. What is more likely, that SGB is going to go into the Rift with these positions, so Shogun, ADC, 𝘁𝗃 support on the Sylas, and so on, or the SGB is just going to swap roles here? So Hasmid, it's probably Shogun as the jungler, and maybe 𝘀ocky, or maybe 𝘀ocky as a jungler. What do you think is more likely, 𝘀𝗀𝗃?
I think it's more likely that they actually go like this onto the Rift and do not like change roles. I think Shogun will not have a smite occupied with him. I think they actually played out like this, as Rebel mentioned, with the Sylas support as a counter pick to the Alistar. I mean, they could go the other way around, but I don't think. Why would you want 𝘁𝗃 on Sylas if he's not in support? I mean, this wouldn't make sense to me.
Player.
Is he?
Yeah, he's.
But can he lane? Can he farm?
Hold on a minute.
Okay, 𝘀ocky can't farm either. He's solo laning, so maybe that's not a good question.
See, that would have made a lot of sense if they put 𝘀ocky on a support, because then it's like, okay, you can't farm, go figure out how to fight in the bottom lane, and 𝘁𝗃 will figure out how to farm. That would have been a fun little exchange. I'm excited. I'd be far more excited if they decided to keep it like this instead of swapping positions. Now, if they swap positions, we get to see some nonsense. We get to see some fun and probably some goonery before GAM ends up taking this one. But if they play out this game seriously the way we expect them to, I think it'd be awesome to see the 𝘁 support, and especially the top side where things go maniac really quickly with like this like Diana and Gragas trying to set up this Yasuo at all times.
I expect Shogun to just be left alone in lane after like 2 minutes. 𝘁𝗏𝗀's gonna go into one trade, gonna trade into Kai'Sa level 1, and then realize, oh no, I don't want to trade against her ever again, and then just roam into top lane. So we have 3 or 4 knockups just for Hasmid. Let's see if Hasmid can make it work. I think Yasuo is Yasuo good into Jace? He strikes me as a champion that could out-muscle the Jace in the laning phase if he dodges around 1 or 2 Qs and then engages on time. Feels potentially like a little bit like...
He doesn't even dodge the shock blast. He can just windfall it. And yeah, the long lane will favor him here. I think the first 3 levels are rough, but other than that, I think if he gets like an item, maybe even go steel caps or instead of from the 𝘁𝗀𝗀, I think he would just win the duel.
So that's going to wrap this desk. We are in what could potentially be the final game of the split. I know 𝘀𝗀𝗋's here, but there's a more important person to call to the desk, so you have to give him a warning call because Kindred's around. Garrix, get in here!
Ah! There's a fight, Rebel! Levi's going to die at level 1!
Yeah, look at this 𝘁𝗏𝗀 support performance, setting up the kill already before level 1, or minute 1. So 𝘁𝗏𝗀, 𝘁, Spring, let's go.
Let's go. Hits another E as well onto Cardi, just dealing some damage. So, unironically, I have played a lot of Kindred AD carry.
This must be your favorite bot lane of all time, no? It's Kindred, 𝘁 in one lane.
Yeah, it's 2 of my 3 favorite champions in the same lane. I'm having a great time. I mean, look, 𝘁 support is not a thing. That's silly.
Smiling. Wherever he is right now, Palette is smiling, watching this game. The original 𝘁 support player.
Yeah, look, the 𝘁 support is very silly. SGB are obviously having fun, but look, Kindred ADC is actually legit. She's actually really strong.
There was a time when Niels, or maybe he was already called Sven at the time, was a huge proponent of the Kindred and bot lane. They played some games, not like an insane amount of games, but they actually did play it seriously. Origin at the point was a super strong team, so definitely a pick that we've seen before, and hasn't really. I believe a lot of what LS is talking about with Kindred and solo lanes and other lanes is also focused on the Kindred can actually function as a laning champion as well.
Yeah.
As we finally get the replay for the level 1 play, just 𝘁𝗏𝗀 being 𝘁𝗏𝗀. Coming from weird angles and killing Levi. Is this E still available? The first E iteration? No, he just gets another E. Okay.
Yeah, he gets another one. I think Levi... The issue for Levi there is he didn't know the E was down. I think if he knows that E is down, he flashes the belly bop and gets away.
Maybe.
He doesn't have flash. Well, no, he doesn't have flash, so he definitely doesn't flash it. Ignore me.
Well, it's Levi, the only one where you can actually say he doesn't have flash. Levi Karthus usually doesn't go flash, which makes a lot of sense. Actually, in this composition, I love it, because they all want to dive on top of you. You are not going to get away with just one meager flash there from Levi, so just double down on staying there, being a little bit of a zombie Karthus. Suicide Karthus coming in this game, definitely. And yeah, just doubling down on that kind of style. This also makes him much more resilient to invades from BJ. We've seen this before from Levi Karthus into the likes of Olaf, where everyone thinks, okay, this is doomed for Levi because Olaf is just going to invade him constantly. But then Levi wins the 1v1 just because he has exhaust. Does he win this gank, though?
I mean, I think they win the 2v2, even if Levi doesn't necessarily win the 1v1. Down on the bottom side, B making a play. This is huge. 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀 going extremely low. Will he burn down to the ignite? He will not. Shogun managing to force them back. The 𝘁𝗏 will survive.
Oh, that's so... did he actually get the stack there?
No.
Most likely not. Oh, his jungler secures the 𝘁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 and he doesn't get the stack. That's horrific for Shogun. He was really hoping for a bot side 𝘁𝗏𝗀. The bot side 𝘁𝗏𝗀 does actually spawn, but the enemy team initiates the fight, so you can't get close to it. There's a tier in 𝘁𝗏𝗀's inventory. I am intrigued, but also kind of scared.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that goes. Maybe 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀𝗀? 𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀
Yeah.
𝘁𝗏𝗀? Why not?
Maybe he just goes full AP.
Oh, 𝘁𝗃 moving in onto 𝘁cie. Can't actually follow up on it. The wind wall's down. There's the sidestep on the tornado. Good flash, but a better flash forward.
I really believe 𝘁𝗃 could have just gotten the kill there.
Yep.
Just flash on top of 𝘁cie. What were you disengaging for? Ah, that was misplayed from 𝘁𝗁 in my opinion. I'm not by no means a Yasuo expert, but that really looked like lethal damage from 𝘁𝗁's side, especially if you flash Qs on top of the enemy, or even EQs and gets the knockup. That's a very easy follow-up. So, very surprised by this. He had lethal tempo stacks as well. So 𝘁𝗁 misplaying his first solo kill, and another one going into 𝘁𝗁's back pocket. He solo killed him in the last game, dived him under tower. He does it again in this game. So 𝘁𝗁 today, definitely the better top laner. Nothing 𝘁𝗁 can do to debate that fact.
Yep, no, he can't take him on in the marketplace of ideas, but 𝘁𝗁 trying to turn it back around, has the tornado charge, can he actually land it?
What is he doing?
𝘁𝗁, so good here. Managed to fight it back, but look at this absolute brawl in the jungle. They've kicked it off in the octagon. In comes the Yone, Cardi bearing down. They will escape, though Levi fell before, and 𝘁𝗁 is in a lot of trouble. He will be found, and bang, Jace is on 2.
There was a flash onto the blast. Oh, there's another flash. Whoa, what is happening? Carti found himself in the river. It's a 2-for-2. No, it's a 2-for-1 actually for 𝘁𝗁𝗶𝗶𝗀𝘀. Everyone on the top side, and 𝘁𝗀ce, who would have thought he needs to go in the supportive jungler to show himself again. Assisted by his team, obviously, getting 2 of the early kills, and now he can really deal well with Levi in teamfights. Levi doesn't have flash, as we discussed earlier, and if the 𝘁𝗁 just wants to wait for you, just push him away, just say, nope, we don't want to deal with 𝘁𝗁 right now, then it's only 𝘁𝗁's ultimate, and that usually is not enough to really impact the fights. So 𝘁𝗀ce can just play bodyguard and ward off any attempt from Levi later on.
I mean, low-key, that was an insane belly bot. It stopped also, it stopped the Alistar moving in.
Look at the flash from Froggy here.
Yeah?
That's so funny. I mean, actually, he was super close to being able to just auto-attack it anyway, but he was scared, so it worked out for him, and in the end, Carti dies for it, because he overchases too far away from B. It's an easy kill for 𝘁𝗀ce to secure. 2-for-1 in total, but 𝘁𝗁 is under a lot of pressure in the squeeze in the top lane, but Shogun.
Yeah, now they are going to try and get out of this one. There's no Lamb's Respite going to come in to try and save them, so Shogun will fall, and 𝘁𝗁 goes with him. He could have gotten out of that. He used his Dance of Arrows sideways. Just go backwards, you still would have been inside the Wolf's Frenzy and gotten the reduced cooldown. That's just a Kindred misplay.
Very harsh to judge him on that one. Very good gank, though.
𝘁𝗁 doesn't use your ultimate? Press R? Hello? Last breath is available? Press R?
𝘁𝗁, yeah, so it's not it. It's really not it. What is he doing? 𝘁𝗁 is fawned. Oh, just getting gifted kill after kill after kill. 𝘁𝗁 could have solo killed him early on. He could have killed him in the second instance, and now he's giving away 2 kills. They try to do a cross map, but GAM breaks the cross map dynamic and wins on both sides of the map. So suddenly a 2k gold lead, every resource spent from the side of 𝘁𝗁𝗶𝗶𝗀. So now the game can really get out of hands very quickly. Ultimate now?
Anytime. Like,
𝘁𝗁𝗊?
And
Ask Levi how to activate that. Levi knows.
They've just gotten the solo kill, not a solo kill, a gank kill in the mid lane as well. Oh, was it a solo kill? There you go.
Yeah, that was this 𝘁𝗁𝗊.
Oh, there you go. 𝘁𝗁𝗊 is getting some vision as well. It just annoys me. Like, Yasuo ult there, it also refills your flow, so you get a shield and don't die. Ah! Terrible.
Really not great. Now the counter dive in bot lane. B is not level 6, so pretty squishy. He does have the aftershock though, so not a glacial augment. Alistar, still hard to dive even without his ultimate available. 𝘁𝗁𝗊 is close to level 6 as well, so we are close to 2 Alistars fighting against each other. That's an exciting prospect. I'm here for it.
It is going to be an interesting one if that does begin to kick off. Looking at it though, this is a very weird game, your way. Because this is a 4-0 Jace. 𝘁𝗁𝗊 is absolutely popping off. I mean, aside from compositions, that makes it weird. But SGB has a very, very strong mid jungle. Also, why is there a Barmy Cinder on Diana?
Yeah, 𝘀cie playing a little bit of a tank Diana, it looks like. And yeah, this was just 𝘁𝗀𝗀 looking cool, but it's a solo kill for 𝘀cie. Is a facilitated solo kill, because 𝘁𝗀 might have been able to fight back if 𝘁𝗀𝗀 wasn't on screen. So yeah, he doesn't get an assist, but he assisted morally, I guess you can say.
Yeah,
and
okay,
yeah,
sure.
who knows? 𝘀cie does have the dark technology locked down. That's the one thing we can definitely attribute to 𝘀cie all the time. So let's see where he goes with this build. We wanted the 𝘁𝗁. Maybe we see the next iteration of 𝘁𝗁, which is just tank Diana.
Sure.
First words, but let's see.
Sure, why not? As in they come again. There's the fate sealed to try and get them out. Just, okay, 𝘁𝗀𝗀, just whip the barrel at him out of frustration. Fair enough. 𝘁𝗁 does get away, though. And I'm glad that the teams realized after game one, wait a minute, this series doesn't matter. We can have some fun. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 moving in on 𝘁𝗀𝗀, 𝘁𝗀𝗀 on the other side. He tries to belly bop away. He even burns the flash. Can he actually get away to a tower? It looks like he can. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 will have one shot with the accelerated shock blast. If he can take him down. They want to try and turn around. There's a last breath. If he lands the E, he pressed up. He did it, 𝘁𝗀𝗀. And now with 𝘁𝗀𝗀 coming in, but never mind, because the rest of GAM have arrived. There's a stolen Yone ult, but it's not going to do anything. 𝘁𝗁 still manages to die.
So he learned the first step of Yasuo. He's still very far away from actually activating the power spike, obviously. But at least he can press R now. So once the 10 deaths are here, we can expect great things from 𝘁𝗁. Obviously, Yone ult is available as well for his team. I didn't even consider that. But we can actually get the Yone Yasuo combination in ultimates later on in the game. 𝘀cie is tanky, but not tanky enough to get away from this one. And 𝘁𝗀𝗀 finally lands a Q. He was struggling with that beforehand.
He was.
Oh man, what a game. They are going to funnel the gold into Style and 𝘁𝗀𝗀 from these two platings. Might even be 3 if they stay long enough. This is just a support Silas, by the way, so you don't really have to be scared.
I mean, it's still a Silas. He still has high base damages with the Kingslayer and stuff, but yeah, it is a support Silas, something I didn't want to be talking about, as Shogun does spot out onto 𝘁𝗀𝗀. Actually, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage there. Dances forward with the Q, and 𝘁𝗀𝗀 comes in to steal the kill.
𝘁𝗀𝗀, what are you doing in this game? He got so many kills at the start of the game, and now he's just... Yeah, I guess he's walking around making stuff happen, which is nice to see, but his mechanical execution is not the greatest so far in this game. As 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is still here defending, and there we go!
Yeah, they're going to try and do this one. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 going on in. There's the Requiem, chunking them down lower. B is completely caught out. There's the Alistar ult being used. The last breath onto him, but it's an Alistar! It's an Alistar! Oh my god, what is going on? There's the Lamb's Respite to buy them as much time as they can. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 desperately needs the healing, but it just doesn't matter because look at them melting away. Kindred has died. It's a double kill for 𝘁𝗀𝗀, and GAM are just slaughtering them.
Don't worry. This Yasuo is smurfing there in you know what. He's going to carry the game. He's going to vote against the surrender and just wait for his power spike. He's gonna carry. Right now he's not dealing any damage. Like his support Silas is dealing more damage than he did. He ulted and I didn't even see the health bar from B move. Then he insta-died afterwards. So great champion choice from 𝘁𝗁. He wanted to show us his Yasuo. Please, I never want to see it again. Please keep that to solo queue. I know VN solo queue is in love with this champion. That's enough for me. I don't want to see Yasuo ever again in the hands of 𝘁𝗁. But take a look at this engage.
The thing to look at here is that as they come in, you just have B.
Look at B's HP bar.
He's just Astro smurfing in 𝘁𝗀𝗀. It's so easy. Look at that. Easy. They come in. There's no chance. They are just in 𝘀𝗀𝗋 elo, and they're just coming in to stomp.
Yeah, noob champs, by the way. Noob champs. Yeah, the positioning of the wind wall also exquisite, just blocking no projectile whatsoever, and then shooting a tornado into nothingness.
𝘁𝗀𝗀 has managed to die, though, but they enter back with a kill for 𝘁𝗀𝗀. Shogun, I think, has 0 stacks, by the way. This Kindred bot lane is not working out.
Clearly, 𝘁𝗀𝗀's favorite champions are all great on the Rift, as we can see. Visit Exhibit A. We have a Kindred and Silas on our Rift today.
I resent blaming the champions.
As
I resent
Thaddeus
that.
always puts it so eloquently, don't blame the champion, don't blame the pick, blame the player. Definitely true. That's wisdom we can apply for this game for every single champion on the side of 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀𝘀, I'd say. 𝘁𝗀 is just having a wander.
Oh,
what was he
excuse me,
doing over
sorry.
there?
Who knows? Honestly, who knows?
𝘀𝗀gy, the best performer of his team, this was not the game to choose a good performance for, because the rest of your team is not putting up much of a fight, but at least the tank Diana is getting the 1,000 gold shutdown. I have no idea what it's going to do with the 1,000 gold, but he's keeping us on the edge of our seats. Let's see what he's going. Oh yeah, it's full tank. Nice.
Yeah, it's full. 𝘀𝗀cy is actually pointing it out. It is probably a tanky on-hit build. So, nice. Here we go. They actually managed to find the right target to ult, but 𝘁𝗀 just walks away.
Count the deaths.
𝘀𝗀 moving in. This is a pretty easy kill as long as he doesn't mess this up. There it is. B bumps him away afterwards, but it doesn't really matter as 𝘀𝗀gy will land the laser, but it is still an 𝘀𝗀ister. He'll be okay as 𝘀𝗀gy does want to move forward, but I don't think they need to think better. Oh, 𝘁𝗀ky, no. You don't want that. He gets out. It's okay. As the rest of GAM are on the way in.
I think everything is doomed now for 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 because I believe 𝘁𝗀 picked up a support and assist there. Oh, it's the tragedy, the biggest tragedy of any Yasuo game ever. He can't go unscathed to the 0-10 power spike. It's all thwarted. All hope is lost. What can 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 hope for now?
See, the issue here is that we've entered a paradox because GAM were going to lose because it's the Yasuo on the enemy team. So 𝘁𝗀 was going to carry. However, SGB has to lose because it's the 𝘀𝗀 on the enemy team. And 𝘀𝗀 curse is stronger, evidently. 𝘁𝗀 getting chased down. This Yasuo is useless. 𝘀𝗀gy also taken down. I mean, look, this is a bit of a clown fiesta. The teams are just having some fun, but it is GAM very much coming out on top. Fate is being sealed. The Lamb's Respite will buy some time. Cardi has to snap back to the soul. They actually can fight this one. 𝘀𝗀gy can dance away, but it doesn't matter because 𝘁𝗀 is just too fed.
Look at 𝘁𝗀ky, though. Running them down, staring at them. He's ready to solo kill both of the solo laners as the support. Yeah, just going to farm a little bit. So everything going as planned. Shogun dying. He was just waiting for Shogun to go down so he could collect the wave. So 𝘁𝗀ky can actually carry on this champion. He decided, well, I really tried on 𝘀𝗀ister. I made so much happen for my team. I had the biggest play of the whole split, maybe shared with 𝘀𝗀piece Hook. And then my team is still inting. My team is not even getting me to players. So it's time for me to take over and smurf on them noobs with some Sylas support gameplay.
Yeah, of course, I've always been an analyst at heart. Breaking this one down, I mean, I'd love to see a scoreboard so I could really go in depth on the builds, but we haven't had that for about 5 minutes. Look, I think SGB's put together a fan. SGB, they've put together the perfect team comp. We're going to see them set up around objectives, land their ultimate combo, and honestly, there's just no counterplay for GAM.
I think we're not allowed to show the scoreboard because of the Yasuo performance. It could actually wake some of the VN players up and show them, oh, Yasuo isn't actually that great of a champion. He's level 9, so he's doing well in the level department. 𝘁𝗀ky was actually smurfing on this champion, so...
Yeah, he was actually good.
I mean, truly, it's on the wrong position, right? Top lane Yasuo, what's that? He has to go jungle. We all know. DNK showed us.
Very true. Oh, are you taking over, or as B has been caught out?
Is waiting for his moment to shine. There's the engage. Huge ultimate by 𝘁𝗀ky, and look at 𝘁𝗀ky back. 𝘀𝗀gy now on the forefront of the fight. Can he find his angle with his huge damage on the Diana? No, he's just walking back. Everyone falling. Okay, in the end, it's only one kill. It's in one for 140 gold, though. 𝘁𝗀ky is super happy about this. He wants more. He wants more. Look at him taking aim. Oh, close enough.
It was close, though, 𝘀𝗀gy, as this is a bit of a stomp now from GAM. They have a Rift Herald summoned up. I'm annoyed that they didn't save it. We might have had potential for a Dancing Herald, but the base will be cracked. Do they want the inhib? I think they're going to get it even if they don't want it, due to the Herald charge. There it is. And 𝘀𝗀gy, they just continue to scale.
So, 𝘀𝗀x, walk me through 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀's ways to get back into the game.
Is this just like a revenge fantasy for you? Look, I mean, in the end, 𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗀 do still have an incredible wombo combo. We know what Yasuo can do. It doesn't matter how hard you power int. If you get to 2 items and there's a big Diana Yasuo combo, people will die. And look at 𝘀cie throwing himself in.
Oh, 𝘀cie, he knows what the important objectives are. He wants to go for the blue buff, but it's not over. There's a teleport. Froggy. Froggy's here. Froggy's ready to kill
I don't think he wants to be.
Nah, he definitely wants to be. He's the 1v4 angle. There's the ultimate. Coming in. Style almost dying. Just wait for it. Wait for it for a few more seconds and everyone is gonna die. Yeah, sadly from the wrong team though. And yeah, there we go.
Oh, hang on. I want to take my roll back because Kindred has just gotten the shutdown. Oh, I'm so happy. I'd love to get a check-in on Shogun's marks. I don't think they're at 4, just based on the range. But look at the other style of the map. GAM's just like, oh, Baron's on the map.
That's my question.
Sorry?
Has he gotten a single mark yet?
I think he had a mark on someone he killed. So yeah, I think he has at least 1.
Look at 𝘀cie. That's the chattest play of all time.
Walks in, misses Yone ult, walks away, answers no questions, dies to Alistar.
Oh, this was so amazing, just trying to ult away the blue buff. And Froggy's just asking himself what he's doing over there, as Style gets another kill. So, I think it's time for us to debate MVP points for this game, as I have no idea whatsoever whom to give the points to. So, do you have an inspiration?
I'm not on desk.
No.
This is not my job. Look, I think Levi has had a decent 𝘁 this game. I think 𝘁cie is a pretty obvious candidate for 3
𝘁cie
points.
is a pretty good candidate. Yeah.
B has been playing really well on the Alistar. Style hasn't really done much. I think it's probably 𝘁cie, Cardi, and B, and you pick your order. That's probably my way.
I think it's probably
𝘁𝗃
9.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗃 9 really carrying GAM, for sure. As the siege in the bottom lane has begun. 𝘁𝗃, do you really want to step forward? Look how much damage just the Alistar does. Yeah, there's the Karthus ultimate coming in. Lambsworth's fight does buy them this space. There he goes. He's gone down immediately, but he did have a crack. And that's what's important, is that we try. Triple kill now picked up for Kai'Sa. I don't think they can keep it going. You know Style wants this penta though. Is the Quadra. They're absolutely fountain diving. There is a 0% chance that they don't fountain dive here.
Oh, they're angry. Look at the emotes. They want it so badly. Let's go.
10 seconds. Oh, BJ!
You're the bro.
BJ,
Okay, I think I know what happened now. I know what's going on in the GAM gaming house. Style is not at his computer, I can give you that spoiler. He is walking over very angrily to the side of Levi. And I'd be very, very concerned with Levi's health right now, because that was a nasty steal. Oh my god. I love this game.
I love when the teams just decide to just screw around.
Wow, 140 gold for killing 𝘁𝗀. Amazing. Actually, this is a game where the collector is really paying dividends, because you're not getting any gold from the kills, right? So collector making sure that the kills are actually worth a little bit of gold. At this point, they don't need any. We need the death counter for 𝘁𝗀. I think he should be up at 8. So 2 more kills till the game is over. GAM, can they close before the immovable object hits the rift?
Sorry, I'm just giggling at everything. Okay, right. GAM are pushing in. They're looking to end the game and end the regular season. Oh, I like this sportsmanship. They're just having a party. 𝘁𝗀 is just having a dance. They're celebrating it. I think Style still wants the penta. They've sacrificed 𝘁𝗀. Oh no, 𝘁𝗲, he's got another kill. He's delaying his own power spike. What a tragedy. I mean, it's funny because the rest of GAM are clearly like fine with having some fun. And then you have Style, who's had a penta stolen and is clearly furious.
He's an ADC player. What can I say? We can't have fun in this game. We can't. It's impossible. I can speak from experience. We try hard every game. You're 10-0, you still try hard.
And look at that, the best champion in the Rift still manages to pick up a kill as Kindred gets one. It's a double kill for Style, and they're just running away from him. 𝘁𝗏 goes in to donate himself, doing as much damage as he can, but it just doesn't matter. There's the triple. Can they give Style a penta? He did earn it, but I don't think he's going to get it.
He knows what to do.
Yeah, he has to.
Just wait for it.
You have to. He bumps him into the Lamb's respite, and oh no, he dies at the end. They are finally, I think, going to end the game as 𝘁𝗏 is going to try and take it down. 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀. This is a professional game of League of Legends your way, and they are just not going to hit the Nexus. They're not going to do it.
Oh man, GAMs, the Union is getting angry looking at this game time. I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure if you can really consider this game work. So
no. This counts as like, yeah, you stayed after work because there was an office party.
Yeah,
that doesn't count as overtime.
I mean, you know how it goes, right? You know the famous words.
There are lots of famous words your way. You're gonna have to be more specific.
My boss makes a nickel, I make a dime.
Oh yeah, boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I shit on company time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely know those words. As this has been quite the game your way. We do way to end the VCS.
On 𝘁𝗏,
what other way to end a VCS winter split?
What is happening here?
They're just chilling. Hello.
Okay, 𝘁𝗏, how do you get over there again? Okay.
Just hanging out.
Oh, 𝘁𝗏. Okay, 𝘁𝗏.
Oh.
𝘁𝗏 actually attacked him. 𝘁𝗏, come on. You stole the penta, now you broke the stare down. Who could emote better? I think 𝘁𝗏 was winning, though.
We're going to be here for like another 20 minutes.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I have nothing to do today, so yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it's only 1 a.m. Why not? There is finally a mark taken for Kindred. Confirmation, by the way, that they still don't have 4 because that was a marked 𝘁𝗏.
My God.
Yeah, a little bit of a tragedy on the Shogun front, but honestly, it's a bit of a tragedy on every front. As I think someone might have told GAM, hey, let's not waste too much time. Let's end this one as they will move in. It's going to be the final team fight. This will be the final team fight of VCS Winter. And it's a 1-for-1 at the moment as 𝘁𝗏 has fallen, but so has the Kindred. And look at Style charging on forward, doing so much damage. 𝘁𝗏 will pick up 1-2. 𝘀𝗏, the full tank Diana, has everything to do. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is alive on the Gragas, but 𝘀𝗏 gets taken down. The triple kill is secured. And now they're on the hunt for some Gragas. They find him. They go to the Nexus. And GAM will win the final game of the VCS Winter regular split. And what a close slobber knocker it was.
Only 54 kills in 27 minutes, 2 per minute. I'm pretty disappointed in that statistic. What a way to close out the split. And I have to praise 𝘁𝗏𝗶𝗹𝗀's macro there at the end, though. Did you see 𝘀𝗀 move into the mid lane to defend the incoming waves? Just big brain plays. His Nexus towers were down already, so this Nexus was bare and open, but it doesn't matter. He understands the game. He moves into the mid lane and just gets rid of the wave.
And look, there's a lot to say about that game, but I have a more important announcement. Look, Rakan laid an egg.
Again?
Yeah, he laid a little egg. Yeah, and with that, we're going to go to the analyst desk. Off you go. Off you go, guys. Take it away.
Thank you, 𝘀𝗏, for that wonderful transition back to the VCS English analyst desk as we find out the male bird that has been on the shoulder of our co-caster is actually a female bird. We've known that all season because it's laid eggs before, but for all you fine folks at home, that is the first time and perhaps one of the most interesting things that we saw during the course of this game. That's not true. This was a very interesting and very entertaining game, if a non-competitive one to say the least, right, 𝘀𝗀𝗀?
It definitely has been a very entertaining game, and I mean, I'm just a little bit sad that it doesn't go on for another 20 minutes. Whether, of course, you or Carrick's like that is a different issue because I mean, it could be pretty rough, but was been an enjoyable game, and 𝘀𝗀 eventually found this R button. I'm very happy for him.
Oh yeah, it took some time though. It took some deliberation
Yes.
on his front. Where is that
Longer than
R
it should
key? I don't know the layout of Vietnamese keyboards. Maybe they changed some things around because yeah, maybe the R key just where was it? Oh, and also you can install different keyboards. So sometimes, right, if you change to 𝘀𝘀cie, maybe you change to the 𝘀𝘀cie layout, and then it's actually quite hard to find because that's on the other side of the keyboard. So who knows?
Who's really to say what it is that caused not pressing the R key as a Yasuo? But you know what? That's all right. They had some fun at the end of the split. They picked their champions. It really just had to be Ren just being like, all right, guys, do what you want. And like just letting them do anything and everywhere. I'm a little surprised and a little upset that the Pyke wasn't there. That was just perma roaming everywhere across the board. But here we are, one way or another. As we close out what is the VCS winter split, a groundbreaking split given the fact that it was literally during a preseason patch and during the holidays for all you fine folks. I mean, this was exciting. We had some great moments. I'm going to make you two put you on the spot because I just thought of this question. What was your favorite moment from the entirety of the regular split before we get our jump into playoffs?
Oh, I really like the 𝘀𝗀cie𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗀. From a viewer's perspective, probably that, because I got to watch that sequence of play in the top lane where Rebel just lost his mind, and rightfully so, because 𝘀𝗀cie was popping out of his mind too. And as a caster, I probably liked. I have to think about that as well, 𝘀𝗀cie.
Favorite moment of the split overall, I would say, was like the long Sunday we had last week, where we had like 3 series, and one of them also happened to be GAM versus 𝘀𝗶𝗏, also with 𝘂𝗋 producing and already making the sheet for GAM 2-0, and it was a 2-0 indeed. And I also loved how in the green room he was so cocky, so confident in GAM winning, and he was just talking me down, and yeah, get out, man.
What can I say?
I have quite a few moments over the course of the split, and not to take this too just like and not seriously, to take it very seriously. I think it was the second series between Team Secret and Cerberus where they first had Zhuhao, and they had that really close series between them and Cerberus.
Such a good series.
It was an amazing set of 2 games. It was probably one of my favorite moments. Although very close to capturing it, while I was in love with the fact that the first 𝘀𝗀cie 𝘀𝑚 play was one of my favorite moments, and it's going on a reel when I decided to make one. The second best moment of 𝘀𝗀cie was that hilarious interaction with the 𝘂𝗍 where he just flashed into the brush and forced the 𝘂𝗍 ult over the wall, which we currently have a copy pasta going about inside of our chat. I'm glad everybody caught that one because it was a fantastic moment. So now we walk into playoffs. If you want to show standings one more time, Mr. Spoods, the Spider production, so that we could show everybody that in the coming week we will be having. Oh, it's not. It doesn't have to be updated. We're just going to look at the teams as they go. As we come into playoffs with high expectations, I suppose, for our teams. Is there anything about these teams, especially our top 4 now, or even our bottom 4, just that you want to have closing statements on? Because this has been, 5 weeks that we've had for an entire split. There's plenty of stuff that's been jam-packed and maybe things you haven't gotten a chance to say. I'll give you both one moment of closure for anybody or any team specifically that you want to talk about here.
Go ahead,
Do I really need to force one of you to talk?
Yeah, I'm thinking a little bit what we really want to talk about here. I mean, I
have my thing.
It's versus 𝘀𝗀cie. I mean, I just take versus 𝘀𝗀cie here. I mean, I have maybe been underselling them a little bit earlier when I was like saying, Cerberus was maybe just a little bit playing with their food too much and didn't really want to show anything. That might have just been my personal copium, as I addressed earlier as a Cerberus fan. And 𝘀𝗀cie, I mean, they played really well earlier. I mean, 𝘂𝗏 definitely popped off, and also like this Victor blue side ban in game 2 from Cerberus. Maybe it was just them also not really feeling confident into like picking Victor first and then giving a good bot lane to 𝘂𝗏, who definitely has shown up, 𝘂𝗎o as well, and maybe 𝘀𝗀cie can do some damage in playoffs that we initially didn't think they could make.
I'm going to zoom out, I'm going to look at this from the moon. This is how far I'm going to zoom out here and just look at the standings right now, because to me it's very funny to look at these standings. And in the end of the split, after so much chaos, after 𝘀𝗀cie and 𝘀𝗀𝗏 stepped up to be the surprising play of teams, it looks very divided. It looks very much like top 4 and bottom 4. If you just look at the plus and minus scores, all of the top 4 teams are on the plus side, all of the bottom 4 teams are on the minus side. So in the end, it actually looks like just the standard split, right? But the teams are different. So in the end, we still have the 4th place coming with the 8 series wins, which has always been the cutoff point. This time, they could have actually made it with 7 or even 6 series wins. But instead, we basically end up with the same standings as always, which is quite funny considering how the split went compared to other splits.
We had a lot more intrigue inside of a split like this. A series that were much closer than they should have been, games that were lost by teams that definitely should not have. And it boiled down to a situation in which, unfortunately, we did not have an undefeated team. And we have, to me, the gap between the bottom teams and the top teams is a lot different from when I first stepped in. When a team is able to throw 8,000 gold at 10 minutes into the game somehow, that's a very different look than a Team Flash that's legitimately contending with some of the top teams in best of 3 series. The fact that our floor has gone up in VCS, I think, is really kind of integral to what's going to happen eventually. During playoffs, I'm going to talk about this quite a bit more. But we have to remember that we haven't been to an international event since, what was it, MSI 2020, MSI 2019? I can't remember which one of those two. I think it was
Worlds
MSI
2019, I believe.
Worlds 2019.
Yeah, we didn't even go. Yeah, so it has been 2 whole years since we've had a team go to MSI, and we've had kind of confirmation that Riot is attempting to work with VCS so they miss no more. Last time I had an exact number of days since we've been to an event, but I think that's a really bad way of looking at it. So now that we've jumped into playoffs with these 4 teams, we won't be getting our MSI representative from the winter splits, but we do have a chance to look forward to what is going to be MSI 2022, and the winner of this kind of winter split becomes our immediate favorite. I think Cerberus has looked amazing. My favorite moment from them all split has just been Pun turning on and being a monster. Pun V9 is my favorite joke from the entirety of everything. It replaced 3 𝘁𝗰𝗀 for me, which is a very difficult thing to do. But the fact that we actually are getting our first look at how spring is going to go and how strong that this region has maintained, it gives me a lot of hope for what happens at MSI 2022. One way or another, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays because that's coming up over the next week. I'm not going to be here for semifinals, most certainly if it is during the course of the next week. So I want to wish these 2 gentlemen and everybody else on broadcast a fantastic couple of days, because we've got really exciting semifinals to cover over that. And then coming into New Year's, our 3rd, 4th, and our finals match before we step into the new year. And all of this VC action finally comes to a full culmination. So thank you so much for being amazing supporters to us. Not only that, but also to the league itself. If you want to assist with us, obviously donations, subscriptions, following us on any platform of your choice, be it Twitter, be it Discord, whatever it might be. We've got all of those links that are going to be shot out by our wonderful producer and the rest of our production team over the course of the next couple of minutes. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing split. It's been 5 weeks of concentrated VCS. I think all of us need a little bit of rest for our eyes, because we have to come back during the course of the next split when we have an actual longevity to work with. But until then, thank you so much for showing up. We will see you next week with semifinals leading into our finals. Appreciate you. See you then.